One of the most controversial conversations that Final Fantasy XIV raiders often have is which ultimate is the best in the series. Some might say their favorite is DSR or top, some might say all of them are great and they can't pick a favorite. But amongst them all, the Futures Rewritten seems to be the most criticized by the high-end raiding community for its lack of difficulty and recycled mechanics. But to be honest, while those are true, I don't think that's a bad thing. That Futures Rewritten lived up to the expectation set by Square Enix. You see, I've cleared the fight 161 times, something that no other ultimate has gotten me to do. For me, the FRU is special, FRU is complete, FRU is timeless. For those of you new here, my name's Samir. I'm a hardcore raider and a party finder enthusiast. And today, I'd like to talk about the Futures Rewritten and how it compares to the rest of the fights in the game. FRU was released on November 26th, 2024, making the fight officially 1 year old, and for me, the magic of the fight still hasn't faded. You might think that would be because I loved the Eden raid tier like everyone else, but despite my absurd amount of playtime, I only started playing the game in Endwalker, specifically during Anabasios. So needless to say, my personal bias towards FRU is purely based on the fight itself versus wanting a continuation on what is hailed to be some of the best raids Final Fantasy XIV has to offer, which leads me to my first topic. Every raid and trial in Final Fantasy XIV always seems to have the perfect music that really complements the fight in ways that never make you feel like you're not immersed in the instance you're in. For example, in Futures Rewritten, we start off the fight facing against Fatebreaker, and we get some pretty intense music that also builds up anticipation, as if once we engage in this daunting battle, there would be no turning back. It's important for video games to have a really good soundtrack for the content the player base is interacting with, and the team over at Square Enix know exactly how to do this. I won't really be going too much into detail about each mechanic in this video because I don't want to take away too much from your experience and your progression of the fight. However, if you are interested in a guide for Futures Rewritten, please let me know down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to make one, as I feel like I'm an expert, and there probably wouldn't be anyone better to ask, since I've cleared the fight on every roll and have a total of 161 clears, which leads me to my next point. Every ultimate released so far seems to be meticulously crafted in a way that makes you feel like you're about to embark on an epic journey. I like to think of it as climbing the mountain. Every encounter in an ultimate always sets up the next, in the sense that once the door boss is defeated, you ascend to the next arena in order to fight your next battle. Every boss you kill, every phase you clear sets up a thematic transition onto the next floor. This is consistent with every ultimate, but the way FRU takes this to the next level is by the voice acting that plays throughout the fight. Before Futures Rewritten, the closest thing we had to voice acting in an ultimate fight was DSR. But to be honest, DSR feels more hollow and lonely compared to FRU, which feels alive and thrilling. This allows you to be more immersed in the story that's being told throughout the fight. This is something we're starting to see more often since Dawntrail's release. Both the light heavyweight and cruiserweight tier include voice acting in all of their fights, which means we can also expect voice acting in the heavyweight and 7.5 ultimate, which leads me to my next point. Top and DSR are some of the hardest fights Final Fantasy XIV has to offer, and they really set the bar on what the team over at Square Enix can do in terms of fight design and difficulty. So when Futures Rewritten was announced, everyone was expecting a fight of similar caliber. However, just 3 days after its release, the fight was cleared, and after the initial hype of the clears started to wind down, a lot of groups spoke out about how they wish FRU had more to offer, calling the fight lackluster, too easy, and a disappointment. Are they right? Did Square Enix fail once again to deliver a fight that would challenge its player base? I don't think so. And that's because, in my opinion, the difficulty from Futures Rewritten was stripped because of Pictomancer. But what do I mean by this? How does one job make an ultimate easy? Since Pictomancer's release, it has consistently been one of the strongest jobs in the game. It has extremely good utility as well as exceptional damage, to the point where every single team was forced to bring one during the race. Some teams opted to even swap out other roles, such as a second melee or a fizz ranged, just so they can bring a Pictomancer and have a raised caster. Because of this, teams were obliterating the DPS checks of the fight, and with Pictomancer being so strong, it allowed for casualties during the encounter, something that previous ultimates didn't allow as easily in the past. It is true that there are aspects of the fight that when compared to the others make the fight seem lackluster, but in my opinion, nothing damages a fight's reputation more than an overtuned job. I think Square Enix is trying different things right now, and as someone who is willing to wait for the results in the long term, I can't help but appreciate the attempts they are making, good and bad. And in a recent interview, Yoshi P acknowledges these concerns and strives for improvement in the future. However, I can understand that I'm willing to put up with more as a newer player compared to ones that have been playing for years. So, I have a little bit of a confession to make. I do have some personal bias towards the fight. For me, Futures Rewritten was the first ultimate I got to prog hardcore on content, and it was my chance to prove to myself of what I could achieve when there weren't as many resources available. Being employed with no option to take time off, the most I could throw at the fight reasonably was about 8 hours per day. Still a lot more than most, but nowadays I take time off so that I can put as many hours into the fight as possible. And on the last day of week 2, I managed to clear the fight. Additionally, December 10th is my birthday. So as you can imagine, I was extremely excited to clear the fight. And if you want to check out my birthday clear, the link to the video will be in the description below and is pinned in the top right of your screen right now. So with that said, does that mean everything I've said up till now is invalid? To be honest with you, that's up for you to decide. At the end of the day, we all have likes and dislikes about Final Fantasy XIV, and you have to remember that no matter what anyone else says about your favorite fight, all that matters is that you are able to find enjoyment in it. And for me, I really enjoy Futures Rewritten and will continue to help others clear the fight so that they can experience the absolute cinema that is FRU. I want to thank you all for making it to the end of the video. I like to raid a lot in this game. My content is going to be really focused around that. So make sure to leave a like on this video if you've resonated with it in any way, shape, or form. And if you like to raid in Final Fantasy XIV, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to talk about more topics like this one in the future. Also, let me know down in the comments about your favorite ultimate. I read them all and really enjoy talking about raiding. Also, I stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is where you can watch me raid live in the Party Finder or with the LT Project. Also, make sure to join my Discord as well. I'd love to be able to host some community prog sessions in the future, so stay tuned for that. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bravo, we're going right first.
Move. Wait. Move. Wait. Move. Left, right groups. GG. This is the clear. All damage. Buffs are out. Pot if you haven't.
We kill.
We kill it. 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 Pop the LB. Don't risk it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Let's fucking go. Let's go. It's so dead.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I should have told me you were gonna pop it.